Hey everyone, we're your hosts, Nikki and Floppy, with the assumption effect. Woo! Bringing you the manifestation tea and all things manifestation oriented. So, we want to talk about today acronyms and how I think a lot of people have questions or they're confused, especially the newer folks to the community. Like, what does BBL mean? And birds before land, what does that actually mean? SP, what is that? What is an SP? Is it always a romantic thing? So I'm gonna let Flossie take the lead with that. Flossie, why don't you go ahead and explain the different ones that we come up with here?
So, SP often means specific person. Some people say special person, but I would say the majority of it is specific person, and it is a specific person that you are affirming for directly. Does not necessarily need to be a love interest. A specific person could be a friend, a boss, a family member. I mean, one could argue that it could be yourself, I suppose, but it's just one person in particular, but most often is a romantic interest, but doesn't have to be. Another abbreviation that often is heard along with SP is 3P. 3P as in person. It means third party. So a third party is often what is referred to as a person or entity that is seemed to be in the way of your manifestation, something that is obstructing in some way. It can be anything from a person to literally like a bank, a financial institution, or maybe even a company. Um, Having said that, most often it is referred to as either a third party being a romantic interest of a specific person. Like, so if someone's manifesting a specific person where they want a relationship with someone in particular, there might be another person who is either trying to be with their specific person or their specific person is pursuing. It can also oftentimes be friends or family of the specific person. Another one is 3D. So 3D, third dimension, is often what we call our 3D reality. It's the reality that we live in. It's the world that we live in, the world that we're perceiving, the world that is in existence now. As mentioned, as Nikki mentioned, BBL is Birds Before Land. It's taken from I guess when I think Christopher Columbus or when people used to like sail in the seas, whenever they saw birds, they knew that they were close to land being the quote unquote manifestation. So if you're seeing birds before land, also known as partial manifestation, typically that is not the full manifestation. It's seeing someone or something showing up similar to what you're manifesting, but it's just not the whole manifestation. And so, if you're manifesting a specific person, birds before land could be having someone with the same name as SP. I've even, experienced like same name, same astrological sign from the same type of area. People have had crazy things where someone will come forth in their 3D reality that had like similar name to SP, but same birthday, same job, same car, like all these bizarre things, but it's not their actual manifestation. It's just close to it. It's just the 3D reality hasn't fully conformed, or people will manifest like different amounts of money instead of the full amount, or someone else in their reality will manifest it. And it's just considered a partial manifestation. It just means you're on the right track. You're getting close to getting what you want. What have you thought of?
So SC, you'll see that a lot thrown around. That refers to your self concept, and self concept is something that you want to persist in. It's not required, but it's something that we highly suggest and recommend. So self concept's how you perceive yourself, how you expect others to treat you, how you feel about yourself. We can get in. We have YouTube videos explaining that. We can get into it more later, but really, I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else.
I usually use MA for manifestation abilities just because in one of the, one group I just use that word so much. I just have shortened it to MA. And then some people use MD for mental diet.
No, okay. See, those are new to me, so um, I guess I haven't seen them around too much. So I
But
mean, go ahead.
it's just, sometimes there's just different abbreviations. Those are pretty much, I think, at the moment, what's popping up to me as the main ones that a lot of times people will probably use the most and what those things overall mean.
Right. And we just wanted to make it clear because we do see a lot of questions going around different various groups and YouTube, what's this mean? And they're not getting answered. So, whether you're new, and some people that are even seasoned manifestors may not know some of these acronyms, just like I didn't know what the MA stands for. Apparently I'm out of the loop. So, some people come up with their own too, and you're just gonna have to ask them because I've never heard of them. But when it comes to, birds before land and things like that, I kind of want to elaborate on that in this podcast because Flossie and I actually did a video way back when, a couple of years ago. We did a bird experiment.
I think it
And
was about 3 years ago.
yeah, because we're both manifesting people, specific people. So those were our love interests. And we said, well, let's have fun with this. Because one of the things that we promote is one, enjoying your life, having fun with your manifestations. And, if you want to date, if you want to do other things while you're manifesting, go for it. I mean, you're going to live your life. And that's what we promote. We want you to be happy while you're doing it.
We
So,
also are very much into the science, and it was a
yes,
science experiment. Let us be clear.
that's what I was going to say. For science.
For science.
Because it was for science. We had no intention of entertaining these birds, although one of my birds did turn into my SP2, who I am currently living with. So
I'm
there
kind of in
you
the I'm
go.
kind of in the same boat. I mean, we both manifested our OG SPs and for different reasons just decided to be like, bye, Felicia's, which you got to keep in mind is the opera and power of your reality you can choose to do.
Yeah, you can
And
do whatever you want.
but we did an experiment for science with quote unquote birds, and in fact I ended up manifesting what I referred to and what kind of became a joke in the mermaid gang, a vulture. And a
A
vulture
vulture.
is a bird that's like over aggressive and just, frolicking around you and circling overhead and not leaving you alone. We called him the vulture.
That was the doctor for me. Remember?
Yeah,
Uh,
yes, you had your vulture and I had my vulture, and thank the heavens.
they're gone. But because we said it. No, no, not
Nope, nope, nope,
nope,
nope, nope. Not going to hear from the vulture.
not today, Satan.
That's
So
right.
we had fun names, like so we obviously didn't use these people's real names.
Didn't you
We
call one of them the dodo?
Yeah, we had the dodo bird, Project Blue Jay, blackbird. We had the vulture, the eagle. The eagle ended up being my SP2, which so I was like, the eagle has landed. Like, because we're nerds, it's fine. So in this experiment, we actually were trying to tell people, this means our manifestation was on the way, and oh boy, were we fucking correct because as we were going through this experiment, I want to say it wasn't long after that Flossie and I both got pretty substantial movement from our original SPs. I want to say within the following maybe 2 to 3 months.
I think that sounds about right.
Yeah, so we were doing these experiments and we see birds before land all the time, or partial manifestations with our clients. And the thing is, they'll come to us and they'll book coaching. They're like, I had a bird before land. Should I change my affirmations, or should I change something, or should I do something different? Or what's this mean? Well, it means you're on the right track and you don't change anything. I mean, that's exactly what it means. It means, hey, some people look at it as a quote unquote sign, which signs are whatever you believe they are. But, if that's how you see a bird before land, it's a partial manifestation. It means it's on your way. Your subconscious is impressed. It's something that's going to happen, whether it's an SP or it's money. I had a client, she was freaking out because her and her best friend applied for the same job at a huge corporation. Her best friend got hired and she got denied. And she was just like, that looks like birds, but they told me I couldn't have the job. Like they were booked, they already chose the people. And I was like, no, you're going to keep persisting. You're not going to change a thing. And she literally argued with me about this. And I said, what is the worst that can happen if you keep persisting? And she did. And guess who called her back because one of the applicants didn't show up? One of the new hires didn't show up. They called her and they said, hey, there's a position that recently became open. She didn't have to lift a finger, didn't have to do a damn thing. Her friend getting the job was the bird before land, and she ended up with a job at the same corporation. So it was a wonderful success. I think it took a total about like a month after she got the bird before land. But that's just an example. Like if something in your 3D looks like, oh, well, these other people are getting it before you, just like our former podcast right before this one, we're talking about living in that victim mentality. You can't see a bird before land, or you can't see a partial manifestation and think, oh, well, that person got it, so I must not be able to manifest it. Or I'm
Yeah.
only getting part and I'm not being able to manifest it. And that's where your mental diet comes into play, because you really don't want to have that mindset. You need to look at it in a positive light. Glass is half full, people. That means it's on its way. It doesn't mean that, oh, I can't do it, I only partially manifested it. You think people go and build a house and get it halfway done and they're like, oh, well, I guess I can't build the rest of it.
Absolutely not. You just got to keep going. You got to keep going till what you want is hardened into fact. And hardened into fact to me means you expect it like you expect the sun to rise. So if you're manifesting your SP and your 3D reality is conforming and SP showing up exactly like you want, the dude or chick from 50 Shades of Grey, and everything in your life is perfect, guess what? You're going to continue to affirm and persist until you expect SP to be that way, like you would expect the sun to rise. Like that's just how it is. That's how it is every single day, period.
Right. The analogy I've been using lately is, and that's the whole living in the end thing. Like, what's living in the end mean? Well, it's knowing it's going to happen without a doubt. And the analogy I've been using lately, it's like if you've been at your job for like 20 years and you take a 2-week vacation to Europe, because Flossie is about to go to Europe. Anyway, you take a 2-week vacation, you go to Europe. Are you sitting there worried about if your job's going to be there when you get back? No, your job's going to be there. You've been there forever. It's that kind of knowing that you're going to have with your manifestation. That's the place you want to get to. It may not be in front of you. You're not at work working, but your job's going to be there. You know what I mean? It's just a security thing. It's like you're secured into the desire.
And you don't have to actually like know without a doubt that your manifestation's coming. I mean, there's times that you're not going to believe it until you see it, but
True.
it's a combination of changing your dominant thought on the topic as well as, you know, oftentimes as people get further in their manifestation journey, they end up having more confidence as a manifester. And so they just decide if they're not there with confidence, you can just decide, I'm going to choose to decide to think that I'm the upper power of my reality and I'm just going to get whatever I want, period. No matter, how I feel about that manifestation. I'm just going to decide that it is going to, that my 3D reality is just going to unfold. Um, and then you just keep affirming and persisting until it does. And as you gain more confidence, it's going to be a lot easier to be like, nope, this is just how my 3D reality is going to be facts and just keep persisting in that.
And it's really helped me solidify that belief, and Flossie and myself, and we have our clients do it all the time, and when we do challenges and things like that in our groups, make a list. If you feel like you're struggling, or you feel like you're too hyper focused, or you feel like you're too focused on the birds or the partial manifestation, or you're starting to be in that victim mentality, manifest other things. And don't make them big elaborate things. Don't make it regarding your main desire. Like if you're manifesting SP, don't do, oh, well, I'll make a list. SP, text me, I'm beautiful. And like, don't do that. Do something completely different off the wall. Like I did a blue banana, or the Wienermobile, or somebody bought me dinner at my favorite restaurant, or random things like that. I received flowers. There was one year, and I'm gonna have to find it and post it in some of our groups, that Flossie and I were manifesting the best birthdays ever. You remember that? And I got like so many fucking gifts. Like it was
Mhm.
insane how many and Flossie was the culprit of most of them, but
Not all.
no, she sent me a bunch of stuff, and then like I had clients sending me things. I had friends and family that have never sent me flowers, sent me flowers. Like my fucking kitchen looked like a damn florist. I was like
Period.
crying and like posting Instagram videos. Like, I cannot believe it. Like, I had bouquets of balloons and chocolate and donuts. And I mean, it was insane. And
And I shouldn't be surprised about that. I mean, come on now.
I know.
Masters of manifesting just getting shiznit, yo.
But I'm just saying, there's other things that people can manifest. Like, manifest like a upcoming birthday or holiday, like being the best birthday ever, or manifest flowers, or manifest, somebody calling them a goddess queen. What was it that you had somebody call you?
Sexy beast.
Wasn't
A
it
sexy goddess.
goddess?
Sexy goddess.
Yeah. Like just off the wall things that you would never hear. And I know we've had clients say in the groups things like I had somebody say, God, I can't even say it. What is it from Mary Poppins that were X something?
Oh, not this. Um, of course, now you bring it up and I'm sitting here thinking,
Yeah, now you're on the spot. I can't. You know what I'm talking about? The word with the spoonful of sugar. That word.
hold on, I'll find it
I can't
just
even
because
pronounce it. Expiated, blah, blah, blah.
Let me see the lyrics here. Where is it? Oh, good Lord,
Oh,
where is
you know what? While you're looking that up, I was being stupid and I said, because I love Harry Potter and all those sci-fi stuff. And I said somebody was going to tell me a Harry Potter spell. My SP was, I live with my SP. It was okay that I manifested that. And he changed our Wi-Fi to Wi-Fi Leviosa the next day.
um it's not in that song, or at least it doesn't.
Well, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Somebody else will know. They'll comment on it and be like, ah, that's what it was.
Was it the
Anyway,
supercalifragilistic? Makes
yes,
me alidocious. I
yes,
know the sound of it is rather quite atrocious or something like that.
yes. She had
Yeah.
somebody say that to her in her reel.
Yeah.
Anyway, the moral of the story is make a list, make it silly little things, and make it things that are going to make you happy in your reel, or make you smile, or make it. It's just going to build your belief, and it's going to solidify the main manifestations. Because as your belief builds, it becomes easier and easier and easier to manifest. And keep doing it. Flossie and I still do lists, just for fun.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was just, oh, I guess it's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
There
That's
you
what
go.
it is.
Still can't say it. That's fine.
But it's like, all righty then. But yeah, wouldn't it be funny if list to boost, confidence in manifesting? You can also make a list of the things that you have manifested. Not necessarily a list of things to manifest, but things that you have manifested. And so when you think of a preference and it shows up, write that shit down. Keep track of those things because there may be a time or two in your journey that you might feel like, you know what, I'm not really feeling confident or powerful as opera empower my reality. And you read that list and you're like, damn, look at all the shit that I manifested.
I had a whole list. I had notebooks full with dates, times, how it unfolded, you know, how quickly. Like I would put the date on my list, and then I like right next to it. And when my house caught on fire, I lost I think the majority of them, but I'm sure I'll find some somewhere. Um, Maybe I'll share them in a further podcast because they were pretty interesting. So yeah, I mean, really, when it comes to birds or partial manifestations and things like that, and that victim mentality and all that, the lists are a great way to go. I don't think that I think people are too hyper fixated on the partials or the birds, and that's not something I want people to do either. Um, yeah, stay cool and move along. Don't hyper focus on it. Don't sit there and say, "Oh, well, why not me?" Or don't hyper focus on it too much either, to where it's like, "Well, I'm next. I know I'm next because I saw this bird." Because guess what? You're going to manifest more
Yeah,
birds.
I wouldn't, try not to pay too much attention. It's good to be like, you know what, this is an indicator I'm on the right track and just keep moving forward. And, you can always have a little bit of amusement fun like Nikki and I did. It was just something to distract and just, getting them to either do or say or behave a certain way. And it really just, because we didn't give a shit about those individuals like flat out, like we just could have cared less, particularly the vultures. It would amuse us when we would have a preference of them to do something and they would just do it. But we didn't have any resistance to those people because guess what? If they did it, fabulous. If they didn't, we didn't care. We had no emotional attachment to any sort of the outcome. We weren't doing anything to put any resistance on it. It was just for what they call it shits and giggles. Okay. It was just for our science experiment so that we could make a video and report back to the amazing subscribers. Nothing more, nothing less. It was fun. It was diversion and a way to distract.
No, it was a fun experiment. Maybe it's an experiment we need to do again. We haven't done a science experiment in quite a while. So, but I hope that we explained the acronyms correctly or enough for you guys that you understand them. I hope that helps some of you. And definitely keep persisting with whatever it is that you desire. Don't focus too much on birds. Don't focus on the left. And just keep living your life and have a good time. That's really what life's all about.
Yeah, but having a nice time while you're manifesting everything that you want to experience, because you can legit be do have anything you want. Don't limit yourself.
All right. So we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.